Welcome back everybody, and today we are reacting to Olivia Rodrigo's second album, Guts. And I have to let you know that I've never really truly listened to Olivia in the past. I kind of briefly heard some singles from the first album. I don't know why, don't know what happened. I just never really got into that whole societal movement at this point, I could call it, because it was quite the commercial success and a lot of people were talking about it and aware of it. But I for some reason or another, I didn't get into it. So I think my perspective is going to be very interesting, considering that I don't have that background, but I know who she is. I know where she comes from. I know her story. And yeah, this is my first time listening to Olivia. So let's get right into it. All right. Wow, that was a moment. I mean, I'm not surprised because I was really aware of the sound that she had in her first album. Like, I heard a lot of snippets, especially the singles, but I just didn't expect it in the song specifically to jump like that right away, first track. Wow. One thing, that's gonna be interesting to hear live. I don't know if she'll replicate it 100% like that, or she's gonna, you know, find a way around it. But that's literally the first thought I had, was like, oh, that live? That's gonna be intense for the vocal cords. All the time, I'm grateful all the talking time. I'm pretty when I cry. It flew! Oh my god. Didn't expect it, definitely. It's interesting. As the first song, it's very satirical, or, you know, at least sarcastic about that typical idea of being a woman in America. Always being like properly physically looking good and like managing your emotions and keeping it inside. So I think that will set the tone for the album. A very breaking the mold type of album. That is my hypothesis. But I'm out right now and I'm all bugged up, and you're calling my phone, you're all alone, and I'm sensing some undertone. I know we're done, I know we're through, but God, when I look at you. Oh. Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? It's a bad idea, right? Mm-hmm. Fuck it, it's fine. Oh wow. Fell into his bed. Now I'm getting in the car. I tripped and fell into his bed. Have you ever seen the video, I think it was a TV show in Australia, of this woman who's being interviewed and talking about her ex-husband, and the setup and the tone of the whole like editing is like as if he passed away and like he's dead now, and it's very tragic and sad. And then all of a sudden, like, the video like cuts to her saying that his husband tripped and fell into another woman's I'm gonna put it right here.
My husband had a terrible accident. It was a really, really hard time in my life. He tripped and fell and landed in his co-worker's vagina, and he's still stuck there.
But I mean, we've all been there, right? We've all gone back. I mean, to those who haven't done it, congrats. You're like, you're special. You're ahead of the human species, I think. But most of us mortals are fallible and susceptible to making mistakes, even though we know it's a mistake. And yeah,
I know I should stop, but I can't. And I told my friends it was asleep, but I never said where. In his jeans. Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Mm-hmm. It's a bad idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it, it's fine.
Yes, I know that he's my ex. Can two people reconnect? The biggest lie I ever said.
Ooh, a fade out too. I mean, so far, it's cohesive, it's on brand. By the way, speaking of brand, it's really funny how the first album cover and the second album cover are both like purple tinted. I mean, really sticking to her palette right there. I get the appeal. There's a humor to it. There is honesty, like very strong transparency. It's kind of fun. It's also like very throwback of the early 2000s rock, very Green Day-ish, very, you know, that era. I get it. I already get it.
How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Cause I've made some real big mistakes. Make the worst one look fine. Blood sucker, fame fucker. Me dry like a goddamn vampire.
Oh.
Made some real big mistakes. But you make the worst one look fine. Like a goddamn vampire.
Interesting.
You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone, cause that would mean you had a heart.
Oh, an outro. Wow. I gotta commend two things. Production was super interesting on that one. There was a lot of like different elements that were added that made it like very complete as a song, as a track. And the other thing is her vocals. That was really well performed. Both the intention in the voice and just like the vocal ability. And I think that's a judicious choice as a first single to go with. It wasn't too strong. It made sense that she went with Bad Idea right after. I mean, I don't know enough of her discography. Now I just went through the first two singles that were used. So I'm gonna see in the rest of the album if there are other songs with like single potential, but she definitely has her own brand. Like she has her own sound. I think obviously people discovered that in the first album, but it makes sense.
Lacey, oh Lacey, did I ever tell you that I'm not doing well? I feel your compliments like bullets on skin.
Okay.
Like ribbons in your hair, my stomach's all in knots. Got the one thing that I want.
Oh, now that makes sense. So it's probably a song about the other woman who's now with the guy or the man that she wants to be with, and so that other woman is like sweet and amazing and like even compliments Olivia in this case, but obviously seeing all of that is like torture to witness and to live. That makes now a lot more sense. I was very confused in the first half of the song, not gonna lie. Now that everything just ties in. Oh, I like that transition. That was really smooth.
Lacey, oh Lacey, you poison every little thing that I do. Yeah, I despise my rotten mind and how much it worships you.
Ooh, okay. I mean, hey, the 20s are funny, right? There's something that comes with age where, an experience especially, where you learn to let go of situations like that. But obviously when it is amongst the first times that you're living it, seeing that other person with the person you want to be with, or even used to be with, can be quite heart-wrenching. And that was well portrayed. I like that she addressed the song to that specific person and not like telling the story about it. We're really living the elements of like that tragic love story in this album. I'm curious as to where it's gonna go from there, because I know maybe not her thing, but I kind of want to see happier songs from her. I'm curious how that would sound. I guess that would be coming up, or it's available on the first album and I just haven't listened to it.
I'm on the outside with the greatest inside joke. The party's done and I'm no fun. I know. Each time I step outside, social suicide.
Interesting. Can't really relate considering the fact that I've never been homeschooled, but I do understand where it comes from. And yes, I think, you know what, I'm thinking about it now. I never wanted to be homeschooled, and I would have never appreciated being homeschooled because of the social aspect. I'm typically a social person, and I feel like it does affect people in a certain way when you don't have that social element. And I feel that, yeah, there would have been too many things I would have missed out on. I bet that it is uncomfortable to come out of your place and make those mistakes when you don't necessarily have practice socially in public with other people.
Searching how to start a conversation on a website.
Ooh.
I swore I was his type. Guess that he was making out with boys at the prom. Every guy like is gay.
Somebody does not have a gaydar. That's all I'm gonna say.
I broke a glass, tripped and fell.
Okay.
So
Wait. Hold on. You thought your mom was your wife. Interesting. Called you the wrong name twice. Can't think of a third line. And here's how we end the song. Have you ever had that situation where you think like it's a sister or like a spouse, and then it's actually a parent, or like they just look too similar. They look very close in age, so you assume stuff, and obviously that's wrong. It is weird with age when you become an adult and you look like your parents, and your parents don't look very old. I guess it can get confusing.
wanted, so I got it. Did it, so it's done. Another day pretending I'm older than I am. Another thing I forced to be a sign.
Ooh.
Push away all the people who know me the best. And I'm playing the victim so well. But it's me who's been making the bed.
Interesting. Making the bed is a very visual way to communicate this idea that at the end of the day, when you lie in bed, you're about to go to bed, or when you wake up in the morning, whoever is coming out of the bed or going into the bed is you. Like, you're in charge of your own decisions, and as you mature, you're responsible for the consequences. But I like that visual. It took a second to understand it and fully process it, but once you do, it's like, oh, whoever steps in or out of that bed at night or in the morning is you. And you get to make your own life, yeah. Nobody can be blamed for your decisions and actions. You're responsible. You're the one who needs to be careful and choose things that align with your priorities and what you want. I like that. I really do.
Can't stop at the red light. Can't swerve off the road. It's 'cause my life feels so out of control. So tired of being the girl that I am. All the sheets over my head.
So visual. I like it a lot.
Sometimes I feel like I don't want to be where I am, making a bed.
Wow. Now, the ending of this song, I absolutely loved. I think that there might be other songs like that, and once again, maybe I missed out on the first album, but those simple moments, like, she has such a delicate, beautiful voice that, like, those simple moments by, the guitar or the piano are just beautiful to hear. That was a really nice little moment there. Once again, the song is very interesting. The concept is really well, thought out. I love how the feelings aren't confusing on that album. It's very specific things, very specific references that she proposes in her songs and in the lyrical writing. I get the appeal. It's really, it's great stuff. It's great material for sure. Ask and you shall receive, apparently. Wow, okay.
Master manipulator, God, you're so good at what you do. You convinced me, baby, it was all in my mind. 2 + 2 = 5, and I'm the love of your life, and changing you is possible. Love is never logical.
Okay. Oh, this is the one I probably relate to or feel the most on the album. Love is never logical indeed, and makes you do stupid things and make you believe unrealistic stuff, and youch. Okay.
All the things you did to me. Sky is green, the grass is red. I'm sure that girl is really your friend. Problems are all solvable. Argument you held over my head. Brought up the girls you could have instead. Love is never logical.
Such an amazing hook.
Responsible, and that makes me feel horrible.
Mm-hmm.
God, why didn't I stop it all?
Yeah, don't we ask ourselves that question all the time?
God, why didn't I stop it all?
Wow. It's funny, I was about to say that the previous song was probably my favorite so far, but this one even surpassed it. I love the self-awareness in the lyrics, and this one, okay, here's what I love about it. This one, as opposed to other ones, doesn't refer to a specific event, but it does refer to a specific feeling. And the writing and the imagery that's written in that song really describe so well how it feels to feel that feeling, which is that guilty, kind of self-shaming feeling of falling for something that isn't logical and to have gone with stupid decisions instead of being rational. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever, but to me it did. The song is amazing at portraying that. Like I said, the 2 + 2 = 5 and I'm the love of your life. Just the idea of making shit up and believing it is wild, but so well portrayed in this song. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, get him back.
I met a guy in the summer and I left him in the spring. He had an ego and a temper and a wandering eye. He said he's 6'2" and I'm like, dude, nice try. Then the night would never end. Another song, another club, another bar, another dance. Till I remember every time he made a pass on my friend. Do I let him? I wanna get him back. I just wanna make him feel bad.
Ooh, smart play on words of like getting him back, literally just having him back, and then getting him back, like getting back at him again, but like intertwining those two feelings, which is a natural process of like, I guess, grieving, of like you're not sure if you're done with it or if you want to mess with it. Ooh, okay. And I mean, the first part of the song really got me. That was well written.
But as I'm hitting send, I picture all the faces of my disappointed friends. And my father's daughters. Maybe I could fix him.
Oh, daddy issues? Maybe?
Be his car. I wanna make him want. Wanna kiss his face with an uppercut.
Oh.
Meet his mom just to tell her her son sucks. Her son sucks, yeah. I wanna get him back. I wanna make him really.
Wow. I really missed out on the first album, didn't I? Because if the first album is remotely close to the songwriting of this album, it must have been something to experience too, and I really should have listened when I had the time. But that being said, what can you say? It's that feeling of wanting revenge, but at the same time just not wanting revenge, but just to get back to the way it was. Like, it's it's a good song. That's all that's all I have to say about it. Honestly, the songwriting is great and the lyrics are fun, and this song is, I think, one of the best so far as well.
Told my friends you were the one after I'd known you like a month, and then you came. Now it don't need to think God loves fucking and missing just one. And I consoled you
Yeah, it actually is very embarrassing. Wow, I think that this one has single potential. I think that this one could definitely come out as a single. It's very catchy and I like the production of it. I mean, Love is definitely embarrassing. That we can't deny. We've all done things, once again, that we're not very proud of necessarily. But just, yeah, purely from a like sonic perspective, purely from a, I guess, commercial perspective, this could definitely work super well as a single, and I see it. I think it would be catchy enough, melodic enough, and also it would stand out enough to have success, I think, on the airwaves.
If nightmares each week about that Friday in May, took everything I loved and crushed it in between your fingers. But I wanna scream, how could anybody do the things you did so easily? But you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long.
I know I'm cutting it as like the energy is building and we're getting higher, but this really feels like a Driver's License Part 2, like sonically and like feeling wise, and I think even content in the lyrics. I haven't it's kind of I mean, I'm mentioning the song, not that I've actually fully listened to the song before, but from the snippets and the parts I've heard in the past, it really sounds similar. But then again, it's her second album. It's part of the, you know, the creative development and might refer somehow, like poetically, to the first album. I just wanted to point that out because I thought of it. My two brain cells were like, ooh, we've heard that before.
It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. Shower in the car and in the mirror before bed. Fantasize about a time you're a little fucking sorry. And I try to understand, must be insecure. You must be so unhappy.
Oh.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Interestingly enough, and I'm also cutting it again, well, it's kind of building. Hurt people, and that is so true. I small little confidence moment here. I used to be bullied in high school and in grade school as well. And there is a day, I don't remember exactly what year, I came back home kind of in tears, and then my mom was like, you know, what happened? And I told her that I had gone through a pretty rough day of bullying at school, but I also accompanied, I guess, the statement with something along the lines of, but I understand why, and that is because his family is not treating that person super well, and it's not going well at home. My mom was kind of stunned when I said that, and to this day I'm like, ooh, look at me, emotional maturity. But yeah, hurt people do hurt people, and it's often from a place of trauma and hurt that, you know, behaviors and patterns and toxicity is developed and passed on to other people, and then most times people don't even realize it when they do. And everybody has it. I mean, it's part of the human experience. What sucks is those who are unaware and not working on it to improve.
How could anybody do the things you did so easily? And I say I don't care. It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. You have everything and you still want more.
Oof.
Even after all this, you're still everything to me, and I'm
Yeah, even the melody resembles a little bit Driver's License.
not quite sure I'm there yet.
I think at this point now, Guts makes a lot more sense as a album title. I think it's definitely about the guts of that person and the way that, actually, you know, there's many reasons why Guts might be the title of the album. I haven't heard, I think, a reference to it specifically in the songs so far, but definitely the guts of like that guy treating her the way that he did, and also the guts of her going back and ignoring logic and following emotions and impulsions and committing the same mistakes again. And once again, very part of the human experience. So I understand why Olivia is really relatable as an artist. She writes about things that are very, very, not, I don't want to say common, but she details something in such an artistic way and beautiful way, feelings that are very specific and very human. I don't know how many times I said human in this video so far, but voila, human. Ooh.
I started to skip lunch. Bought a new prescription. Pretty isn't pretty enough.
Oh.
I've been changing my body and changing my face. And it still feels so insecure. It's in my phone, it's in my head, it's in the boys I bring to bed. Everybody's keeping it up. See, all of the clothes that they told me to buy, I've chased them down like Dior my whole fucking life.
I mean, so far this is the song that's the most up my alley, like sound wise, but the whole duration I was in pain. This was painful to hear, you know, the torture and the self-judgment that she has in the song. It's yeah, ouch. But I liked it. It kind of is movie-esque, like TV show-esque, nostalgic, 80s sounding, very interesting. It's kind of like a happy-ish sounding song with very painful lyrics on top of it. It was this weird feeling to have, the contrast between the sound of the song and the lyrical content made for, yeah, an interesting experience. Last track of the album, Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. Teenage Dream. Na, 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 na.
When am I gonna stop being wise beyond my years and just start being wise? Am I gonna stop being great for my age and just start being good? Got your whole life ahead of you. I couldn't always be your teenage dream. And one's as wide-eyed.
I really thought I was going somewhere. Hold on a minute.
I'll blow out the candles, happy birthday. But I fear that they already got all the best parts of me. They all say that it gets better, but what if I don't?
This really reminds me of Lord in some way. Ah, there you go. Aw. Well, the good news is technically it does get better. The 20s are very confusing, I'm not gonna lie. I am living it. But wow, my hand is so white. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. That was just, my brain went sideways. But yeah, it does get better. I mean, the 21 to 25 range is kind of really messy, but as you get closer to 30, it gets better. But I understand, I've been there. But yeah, it's a great reflection of that angst and that confusion lived as people are adults or come of age. Those who are about my age have gone through it. Those who are not about my age are either going through it or are going to go through it. It's a very confusing time, and I think one thing that can be taken from this album is that it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect, and this album encapsulates a very specific time in somebody's life where not everything makes sense, and it's okay that not everything makes sense and all the decisions have to be rational. And feelings are feelings, and they're okay to have. It sucks that people can be mean, but take the lessons you can take from that and run with them. And it's just gonna make for a better life after. Pretty much. There's no such thing as a teenage dream. I don't think so. I don't think so. So this was my reaction to Olivia Rodrigo's second album, Guts, which I am very pleasantly surprised. It was an excellent album. The songwriting is really impeccable. I think there are so many moments of humor and of imagery in this that just makes it an excellent album. Very sonically cohesive as well. Very on brand for Olivia. She really has her own like voice, tone, unique, you know, brand. Honestly, this is my sign to maybe get into that first album. And yeah, honestly, I'm very happy that I took the time. I mean, yeah, the first album came out when I wasn't starting the reactions yet, but as soon as I learned that she had an album coming out, I was like, obviously I'm gonna react to it. I was curious, and yeah, I really had a good time listening to this album. There's definitely a couple of songs that I plan to go back to listen to again. This is my ranking from the songs that I like the most to the songs that I like the least. There might be one or two songs that kind of really didn't stick to me all that much, but honestly, as we kind of got through the album, the further we got, the better it became for me, which is usually a great sign. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed the album. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know if there are things that I missed out on, if there are contexts that I might have needed to know for some songs, or basically what your favorite songs were as well. I think I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.